Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we're back to Castlevania, Mirror of Fate, Lord of Shadows, blah 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 blah, with HD. So we're going through the third act, and it seems to me like the way this works itself out is we're gonna move kind of fast through this third act, but every fight is going to be really hard. So we're collecting this magic amulet. We now have obtained light magic, medallion plus left bump to activate your light powers. Use light magic to recover life while attacking enemies with your combat cross. So that actually might significantly... Oops. Well, I guess that answers what happens if you fall down there. So that answers... is there anything down here as far as collectibles? I don't think so. So we're not going to have a defense like the first act. We're instead just gonna have this light magic, and it seems to be a 1-to-1 ratio. Light magic seems to kind of be depleted with the recovery, not with just being activated, which kind of means that I think I can just have the light magic activated forever. Let's just leave it on and see if it ever drains. And now we can unlock gates. Where are we here? We're at the entrance bridge, I guess. And I'm supposed to go back and free the weeping so yeah, it is draining my magic, so I shouldn't be using it. The weeping ghost is now gone. Interesting. So there was a weeping ghost in here under this magic shield. Need to activate light object to use it. Interesting. And see, that definitely feels like I should be... it really feels like I should be collecting gems as keys, not just magically being able to activate things as they are. What I'm getting from this also is the idea that that there probably are some sections that are dark magic related too. This feels somewhat maze-like and somewhat Castlevania-ish, but I guess if I jump down here I could slide my way around. These little zombies are not anything, they're pushovers. I just have to be kind of careful about the ones that are crawling on the ground. So I think I probably already missed a secret in this area. This complex of tunnels does not seem to be the work of human hands, rather by some large creatures. Strangely, the marks on the wall remind me of an insect I have of an insect hive, except the sheer size means it must be the work of an entire colony of thousands. Okay. I'm not sure if I killed the guy to the right of me. I guess I did. Alright. So, jump. Alright. Jump, slide, jump. Come over here. Jump, jump, jump. And fall to your death. Thanks, game. I believe this might actually be the only way up, too. So I just have to get the timing almost perfect. So some of it, I think, will be around the idea of doing that. I guess because I died, I am capable of replenishing my ammo, which will prove itself to be useful. Let's move a little bit faster. The Bernard family used to condemn traitors by locking them up inside the pit. History does not contain testimony of survivors, only the horrible tortures performed by the lords of the castle. So I guess the assumption here is this is the Dracula, the vampire lord, we're going to be fighting as Trevor Belmont is probably just a Bernard, for what little that is really worth. I mean, it could be anybody for all I care. And apparently I can just break this. Alright, no, apparently I can't. So let's A, place note, select note, hit A to accept, place it. So we're gonna have strong doors like the werewolf abilities we've seen in well, what was it? Act 2? Yeah. These are definitely things that like you've probably figured out how to do. Like climbing down these walls, we've done it enough now that shouldn't be a difficult thing to accomplish. Jumping downward, jumping across, using a chain to swing. And okay. So I guess I have to be a little bit more careful to get to that point. And the camera is zoomed in quite a lot. I kind of would prefer it to be a little bit more zoomed out and a little bit less dynamic. I guess a lot of that probably is due to the fact that it was a 3DS game originally. That the camera would have had to just been zoomed in because of the small size of the screens. Alright. And this is the second time we've jumped downward, and it's given us cutscenes and just let us fall downward. So Trevor Belmont's metal boots must be really good. So is this going to be a boss fight for this weeping ghost, female ghost, or? Yep, it's going to be a boss fight. How come I can run so far? So this thing is... I'm supposed to block her attack, apparently. Yeah, I don't think my attacks are doing anything. Alright. So let's turn on the light magic. And then... just tap L to block the attack as much as possible. And then probably should be using Y instead of X. I was tapping L there and that didn't work. Maybe I should just hold L. No, holding L doesn't do anything either. Alright, let's just... Oh, it switched to a different attack as soon as I was trying. Alright. Let's turn off the magic and then see if we can just jump and avoid that. That seems like that works. Yeah. Alright. So yeah, we are moving through boss fight. Really, from boss fight to boss fight, although I guess technically this might be the first boss fight that we've actually done. Now, where's the checkpoints on this? Would be another question to ask. Did I get to a halfway point because it screamed? I guess I did. Tap X. This is a new attack. It just drags you down. Did I just die there? Was that an instant kill? I guess maybe it was. I guess I should just leave light attacks on. I'm really having a hard time seeing which attack is going to come first. So I'm going to tap the X a lot harder than I did the last time. Right. I've got her down to a quarter of an attack. This is a great example of a game, by the way, where, like, two places there are female enemies, and one's a succubus and the other is a drowned widow, a ghost, angry ghost. Alright. Come on. As long as I don't take a hit, I should be fine. There we go. This should win. There we go. It shows me a cutscene, and he's probably gonna do something. Oh, it's not just a drowned widow ghost. It's a drowned widow ghost merged with a giant insect. Well, he just lost his weapon. So what's he gonna do now? Is this going to be a longer experience, or is this just going to be a cutscene? Like, I could imagine this would be gameplay. It's QuickTime events of some sort. So when straight, press A, but also press left trigger to block, I think. So, alright. Alright, A. Alright, so you're gonna fail immediately if you don't hit every single QuickTime event. This is immediately frustrating and irritating. So just look in the corners for the QuickTime event. And you only have to press the button once. So you don't have to tap it, or left trigger hold, I think. Or was that right trigger hold? Whatever it was, I'm gonna say it was right trigger hold. Like, I can't even see it on the screen fast enough. Alright, right trigger holding seems to work. A. Right trigger hold again. This would be no better on a 2DS than it would be on an Xbox One controller, which is what I'm using. This is just a terrible, terrible example of why QuickTime events suck and nobody likes them. You should have just shown me this as an animation, or not had this in the game at all. There we go. So you had to hold it that whole time. And I feel like it's gonna throw a left trigger hold onto me, yeah. All of a sudden. Or it was either gonna be a left trigger or it was gonna be a hit an X button. There's no checkpointing happening here. Not of any I can tell. This will probably throw an X at me. Yeah. Tap X and break her arm off. Tap X some more and rip her head off. That is much, much more brutal than any other way we've killed any other enemy in the game. 2. And just ripping off the ghost attached to the insect's head didn't just kill it. Like, I don't even know how you end up with a creature like this. He got his cross back. I don't know how he got his cross back or when. And so the main ghost of this game, the floating puppet character, said we couldn't enter yet, and now we've come back to this point and we've broken the door down and we definitely can enter now, I would guess. Alright, so there's still maybe going to be a fast travel point somewhere here where we come back and get all these collectibles. That would be my guess, but we're not to that level. We now have Magic Medallion. I guess we hadn't even looked at that. And we have the Rotten Zombie Bestiary. There. I don't think there's a reason not to go forward right now. We'll come back later. It's been a longer journey than you would have thought to get to this point. And in the first act, I guess the skeleton was kind of sitting here. And so now we're getting explanations or of things that happened in the past. This is a great example, though, of where were we playing as Simon Belmont, and then there was just a point after you reached an area, Simon Belmont would look into the mirror of fate and see the history of what happened. Then you play as Trevor Belmont to show why certain areas are blocked off the way they are. That would have been really good. But that's not what happened. Alright, let's see what this does. How many of these does it take to kill this guy? 3 charged ones seems like a lot. 4 seems like a lot. Yeah. Takes like 3 or 4 charged ammunitions, but it still may be worth it to do it that way. I felt like these statues would come to life and attack us, but I think they're just for decorations. And this is where we fought the Houndmaster, or whatever it was, but he won't.
Welcome, Trevor.
We won't fight him now.
I've been expecting you.
Who are you? How do you know my name?
I know all.
It is Patrick Stewart, I think.
Everything happens tonight as it is supposed to happen.
Or somebody who sounds like Patrick
I am here
Stewart.
to guide you.
I can't believe they would pay Patrick Stewart for this game and then not use him until the third
However,
act.
your fate has already been sealed and there is nothing you can do to change it. I am sorry to say that you will not achieve your objective, and your wife and your son will suffer the consequences of your failure.
I will hear no more from you.
So he just broke his jaw and that's why he can't speak anymore. So Trevor Belmont literally broke the jaw and I assume got the pieces that make the mirror fate. So he's just like a total jerk and won't listen to good advice when you have it. I'm gonna have to look in the credits. That's insane that you would pay Patrick Stewart to be the voice actor of that character, not use him at all in the first 2 acts of the game, and only use his talent, his voice acting, in a point that most people won't even hear, because anybody with any sense in their head would have long since given up on this game. And then they have him voice just a couple of lines, and then they break the jaw of the character so you can't hear him speak. The door opens elsewhere. That's the first time we've ever seen anything on the screen tell us that. Like, it speaks to just poor story directing and just poor planning. Like a real mess of a story we're getting here. I have to be careful because it's not it really isn't right trigger and then right trigger again. It's more just right trigger will disconnect and reconnect to the next section. Right. Yeah, seems like our maximum increase that we're getting for a lot of the health is not going up by much either. Alright. So, what I need to do here is simply I've unlocked the Lady in the Crypt, Lady of the Crypt. So, although known by the title Lady due to the female appearance of its appendage, this mysterious creature is actually an enormous deformed insect that lives in the depths of the crypts. And you can't get it full screen to look at it, so all you can do is like zoom in that far, and that's it. Alright. Just swing this direction. Collect some more backstory. why not have Patrick Stewart read outline each of these lines of dialogue? That probably would have been more than a day's work, certainly, to have them read out each line of dialogue, but you could have just said, just quick and dirty read them out. As long as you don't stumble on them, we'll use it. Just one take as we go. You could probably do that in 2 or 3 days, and then we would have at least heard his voice. It's more likely a question that there just was not enough space for voice files in the DS version of the game. It says the plans reveal a kind of emergency mechanism that unlocks the door, or of what must be the games room at the end of the corridor. I guess that might be the chessboard room. If I could find it, I might be able to see how accurate the old texts really are. So we might end up at nothing up there, I guess. We might end up having to do a chess minigame. That's odd that I can't jump over that. Odd that I can't jump over that. So, where are we in this map? In this section? We found everything, so I guess I'm just gonna do this. And then it's gonna open the door. And then time? Ooh, interesting. I was not expecting having to fight these guys this early. But why do I have to fight them? I guess I don't. I can just make use of running away like a coward and move forward. Not even bother fighting them. Which is frankly the right way to go, because you're not really getting any experience or anything. You clearly hit points where your XP is just locked and you can't do anything more or get any more XP. So this is a chessboard room. And maybe when I kill something, this will move the chess pieces in a different way. Or maybe, perhaps, that the game has simply saw fit to eliminate any mini game or puzzle and just have us fight to move forward. So I'll use my light energy to refill my health. Boy, does that feel unsatisfactory. Like, no puzzle, no game, no trick or anything like that. Just Right, now how do I get up? Just take the damage, I guess. I suppose that works as well as anything else. A lot of gears here. Definitely depicting what will happen to me if I crash into them. But actually, a lot of these are in the background also. So some are in the, seem to be in the background, and some of them actually seem to be totally easily accessed. There's definitely some secret here in this section. Alright. Start this again. Alright. This seems to me like it's going to reset. So you just kind of have to one cycle this, which is a speedrunning term, I suppose, just to imply you have to get through it in one cycle of its movements. And that was not hard at all. Okay. There's still some weirdness here. Seems like we're gonna spend a lot of time in the lower half of the castle, and it may be a large jump from the lower sections of the castle to the top sections of the castle. There's still 3 more collectibles and probably a new whip to collect. Even though I skipped fighting those 3 vampires, I'm halfway to level 16, and I imagine almost certainly I will be at level 15. Giant bats apparently are a new thing we have a bestiary for. Yeah, we have now gotten to the point where all of the locked parts are on one screen, so we can count without it being confusing. So there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more bestiaries that will unlock. And remember, in Act 2, some bestiaries started just unlocking for no reason. We weren't collecting any collectible or doing anything. So it's been another 30 minutes. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me even further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wish list. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.